Hey guys, what's up? It's Leo, and this is going to be my future channel coming into this. Sorry, the video's a little weird. It's dark. It's nighttime. Trying to get up with set up with lights and stuff. It's all kind of just running together. Point is, we're going to get to my thoughts on GoFest. I know there are 1,000 of them, and we're just going to cover my experience all the way through from leaving Houston all the way down to Chicago. It was a trip I enjoyed, but we're going to cover some key points to things once I get my bearings together, and my nephew here helps me out get things settled. We'll cover that, and I'll come back to you in half a second. All right. Alright guys, we got everything settled down. Basically, going down there was a long, tedious trip. I suggest from future events, if you're coming in a drive that's longer than 6-7 hours, take a plane. Take a plane. Going in, yeah, it was a long drive, and I won't do that again. We're gonna take a plane next time. So when we got there, it was pretty cool because we got to see a good bit of it. I mean, we didn't get there till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. By the time we actually got things settled in to the hotel, and we stayed at the Congress Plaza Hotel, and it was a pretty cool hotel. We had some issues with the hotel here and there, and it really kind of worked up into quite a few issues, you know, later on. But that's not what we're here to talk about. That's water under the bridge. So it was raining quite a bit when we got in. The storm was really bad. For the first time ever, I heard a tornado siren. I've never heard that. And I live in East Texas, and I've never once heard a tornado siren. And that was very unnerving. It was a bit scary. So it was about an hour away from Chicago. We were really close, so we were trying hard not to get too panicked. We were like, just drive through, and we'll make it eventually. So when we finally got there, things were cool, and I decided that I didn't really want to go into GoFest by myself. And although I had a spare ticket for my brother not going, my mom couldn't exactly make that roundabout inside GoFest. So I decided to go down to the lobby and see if I could make some friends. This is my shout out to the Birmingham crowd. They were some really sweet people that pretty much took me into their group, and I enjoyed getting to meet them and get to know them and getting to play with them later on that day. It was worth it. It was definitely worth getting to play with other people, because being by yourself is quite sucky. And I saw a lot of people by themselves, you know, not all of them. There was a lot of loners that were totally cool with it. We got up at 8:30 and we went on to the line. And when we got to the line, it had already extended far past 2 blocks. Now the sucky part was that I lost a lot of film. I don't know what happened with my new camera. The camera quality is crappy, and I'm gonna definitely for sure upgrade the camera sometime very soon. But I lost all my pictures, none of them saved to my camera, and that was the biggest disappointment when I got home, realizing that none of the pictures were there, and half the video that I took were gone. I was able to salvage some things, but not much. So the little montage is in that little. Okay, so the point of that line subject was it took forever. It was a long line. I think it took us 2.5 hours to finally get into the festival, and you know, the events had already just about started. It maybe took us about 3. Nonetheless, the normal line was about 3 hours if you got there at a somewhat decent time. Some people spent 4 hours trying to get into the festival, and by that time things had already started. Like the first event of catching went down on that. So as we went into it, I had problems Not even not even before I got into the festival did issues with my phone start up. As I could see my hotel, because my hotel was about a block from the entrance, I started to realize that my data was this it was gone. The data was gone and ruined, and I wasn't logging in. I was having difficulty even doing that. My game lagged so bad that it would just start to kick me out once I actually did log in. And when we finally got into the festival, I was able to get a little code that they gave you so you could log in to the actual festival accounts, whatever that may be, and I couldn't log into that. It took me an hour and a half to finally activate that code that they gave you. So it was a big disappointment, and I was really bummed about that. You know, it was an hour and a half of struggling with that, not being able to catch anything, not seeing what was really going on because you couldn't see anything until that code activated. The cool thing though is when they gave you the little passcode that you got your in-game badge. You got both a literal badge and an in-game app badge. So I put it on my hat. You know, I was able to super glue it on there. I tried to sew it and that didn't go so well. Okay, so onto that. Getting to explore the festival though, I had a great time. I really did. I met a lot of people in the festival along with the group that I made friends with before, and it was all, like I said, people were having a hard time logging in with their accounts. Obviously, we did spend a lot of money and a lot of time heading up to this festival, and we can't even play. It seemed like it was just getting worse and worse. The other thing I wanted to talk about was when they finally started making announcements, you know, telling us that they realize there's a problem and that things are having a hard time being fixed and that they're working on it. You know, people started booing them, and I was really disappointed with that. I thought we could be a lot more respectful. Again, I get it. We were frustrated. We spent a lot of money to get to this festival. We spent a lot of money in this festival already, and it crashed. It just crashed and burned and just kept on going. But it didn't help. John Hankey, you know, it was his first time getting out on the stage to talk to us like that in front of everybody, and they booed and heckled. And we should be better as a Go community with things like that. You know, they're trying their best. It's their first rodeo. What were we to expect than some complications? I was like, we've been here since day one dealing with server issues like that. And you know, we should have expected that at a sad point that we have to expect that. Next time, I know for sure will be better. They will work on that. It will be a glorious next time because you know, it's just one of those things. When you go through it, you won't let that happen again. And I know Niantic is going to do the same. They won't let that happen again. So I know a big issue was the cell providers, and it was sucky because a lot of the times I saw people playing, and I kept thinking like, how are they getting in, and then we're all struggling in the back here. But it turned out that a lot of them had Sprint, and that's cool. I'm glad Sprint, you know, took hold and was able to provide those cows, the cells on wheels, things for their players, and it's cool that they were prepared to deal with service like that, unlike the other providers that we have. You know, I have a subgroup of AT&T that's paid into it. You know, the subgroup is cricket, you know, and down in the south it's a more popular thing, and there's some up there but not much at all. And I had great service till I got to the festival, which was really odd. And the weird thing too was even after the festival was over at like 2 o'clock in the morning, when we all were still playing Pokemon, I was still having a hard time logging in near the festival grounds, where Grant Park was. It was very odd. So past the the booing of Hanky. I heard about the refunds when I was watching him talk, or the CMO, when he came out and said that we were all going to get refunds if we wanted it. And how I feel on that is, I'm not going to take the refund for the fest bands. You know, you're allowed to if you want to. I get it. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not going to judge you for it, but I feel like I I got my worth, even though the festival day was shit. The rest of it I enjoyed very much. You know, from legendaries being released out, Lugia and Articuno, to getting to catch my first unknown, which was beyond exciting. Getting to catch a Heracross, and you know there was loads of Machops that were out, and Abras, and just everything I could rack up. And the day I had left in Chicago, uh, I beyond enjoyed that. So getting them to extend it 2 miles out was worth not claiming that refund. And like I said, you can do it if you want to. Again, I'm not going to judge. It's all up to you. Now, the coins are really cool. I love that they were willing to give us $100 worth of Pokecoins. Now, I haven't seen them yet. I don't know when they're going to fly into my account. I'm waiting for it. You know, they also said that they'd drop a Lugia into our box. I'm still waiting for that. You know, which again, I don't need. I'd like, but I don't need. Seeing how Chicago had a 100% catch rate for catching legendaries, that was pretty cool. It definitely made that worth the rating process. Even the laggy response you still had after that near the park when the first raid went down. Because like I said, I was only a block away, and there was a raid happening right next to my hotel in front of the Congress, and I was still having a bit of a hard time logging in, but it was worth it. We even went to the fountain, the Buckingham fountain, and that's where you started to feel that signal slack again. And like I said, this is even way after the festival, when pretty much everybody had gone back to their homes, you know, hiding hotels and whatnot, and it went down. So it was cool. I liked it. So the crashes that just kept happening, kept going. Sorry, my drink's about to fall. The crashes that kept happening were still pretty frustrating, even way after that. Like even when I was about to go home, we were still having some bug issues with the Pokemon Go. And I was kind of hoping that would get a little better so I could do one more run through in Chicago before we left back to Texas. But it's okay. It is what it is, and I got what I wanted. 2 Lugias, 2 Articunos is not a bad way to go home. It was cool that we got Articuno. Now, the way that we got Articuno kind of sucked, because they've pretty much proven that Niantic lowered the bar. I mean, what were they supposed to do? We were literally just sitting there hoping that we somehow caught enough Pokemon for the big boss to be released, and then hoping that one of the teams got enough to release a legendary like Articuno with Lugia. Everybody's slamming them for changing and lowering the bar, but I'm cool with it. You know, again, it is what it is. We're working on that. Afterwards was really cool because they released a statement about 7 hours ago. I forgot to mention it's Tuesday now. You know, 3 days after GoFest, and when they released their statement, they gave some numbers about how many people were in this event, and how many people took to the streets afterwards. And I thought that's really cool. You know, the numbers like 69,000 raids, 7.7 million Pokemon caught, 440,000 all together, all over the world. You know, I think those are the stats for all over the world kind of thing. And so, you know, including Chicago, you know, not just Chicago. But, and getting onto that, they also released the information about how long Articuno was supposed to last and it's apparently to July 31st, and then Moltres will be released, which is awesome because that's my team. It's Valor. Yeah, I'm Team Valor, but I will admit that I wanted an Articuno more. I know it's almost blasphemy in the Valor community, but I like Articuno and I like Zapdos. Moltres is honestly my least favorite of the three, but I like the team I'm on. You know, I'm not dogging my team. You know, that's just the way that it works. So Zapdos will be released August 7th after Moltres ends, and that will last till August 14th. Now, they're also speculating that August 14th is, I gotta recheck what date that is exactly, but it's supposed to be the Pikachu outbreak. And speculation is that Ho-Oh is going to appear after that, and I really hope so. I can't wait to do that. And everybody wants the dogs to drop. You know, Suicune, Raikou, Entei. I really hope that happens. So yeah, we'll get on that when that happens, and I'm gonna make a few more videos and start uploading to a channel. It's gonna be called the Fourth Line. Fourth Line. That's my username. I'll get into that one day sometime soon, why that's my username, if anybody ever cares, which I doubt you will. But we'll get into that, and I'll show some more videos of some actual gameplay for everything. I wasn't able to do much because the game lag was so bad at Chicago. I wasn't able to do anything screen recorded when it came to the gameplay, so I lost the chance for footage on that. You know, I was able to get some things like the view of the park, and that was about it. So we'll work on that, and I'll get back to you. We'll work on some more, but for now, just enjoy the little montage I'll make of my trip down to Chicago, and I'll see you guys next time. You know, find my channel, and we'll come have fun. Thanks. Alright guys, it is officially after midnight, Thursday night, Friday morning, which means a little over 2 days till GoFest Chicago. Alright, so Chicago 101 tourism.